actually were interested in gaming. So we had another issue. We have a lot of my students are not proficient with their basic math skills, their multiplication, addition. We were using a program that was was actually through a grant, and to purchase this program was quite expensive. So we were thinking, and I was thinking and talking with my students, we decided that could we learn some basic computer programming coding to actually meet our needs. So our project throughout the year, we worked on learning coding to create a basic multiplication fact practice game. And the research that I did before this was based on finding out from the National Council of Mathematics that students have a deeper understanding of their mathematical content, and especially things that are not as interesting to them as others if they are using games. Here's an example of the students. We began with a collaborative effort. We used the Mondo Pad as our source for demonstration and learning, and through using the computer coding program Tinker. We did whole group instruction, as same as individual instruction. Students observed whilst other students were actually coding to create different, we started with a greeting card, a Halloween background we used at first because that was about the time we started. So then we went into a Christmas greeting card, and we slowly built our skills through the program because it walks students through learning the basic codes. While we were doing this, my students automatically, they were really excited because they had to start applying geometric concepts, looking at angles, understanding a plane surface and where they actually stood on that plane surface, and they made the connection so quickly. And when we were working in class, they were seeing these concepts so much easier, and they would relate back to, oh, Miss Newsome, that was when we had to place our avatar at a 90-degree angle on the game surface, on the plane. Coordinate graphing. They learned a lot of coordinate graphing through this because the program allows you to actually show the grid as the students are learning those coordinates. And some of my students, negative points, and working with those, my students quickly picked up on that through the computer coding. And here was their Halloween scene that they created, and the skeletons danced, they added music, and they just thought that was really neat. That was one of our first adventures. Here was some independent sessions. The students were working together. They have an app that they used on the iPads, so they had their own projects that they individually created. We got to the point somewhere in February that the students were at the point we could put the entire background together. We had our answers, we had our questions, but the students came upon a problem. They were not sure how to be able to have programmed their screen. When they clicked the right answer, it gave them the choice of you're correct or you're incorrect, and if you want to do this again or another step. So the local high school, Belfry High School's STLP, Miss Younger, they were doing computer programming too. So they came by, and I did not want my students, I don't like to just tell my students how to do something. And after several trials and errors, they could not figure this out on their own. So I had the high school students come by, and they spent about 2 hours with the children, showing them and helping them to achieve their goal of what they actually wanted. So they were very excited, and we will see. Okay, it didn't. The link is not wanting to. the link is not wanting to come up, but this was the game that we actually created. I apologize that we can't actually get to the link, but we log into Tinker. The kids have a site that they created this, and the spaceship moves across the board each time they advance a level. When they get 5 questions right, the spaceship moves across the board. And their little alien guy, he tells the multiplication problem, and then their questions pop up on the bottom of the screen, and they click on the correct answer. If the answer is not correct, it comes up and tells the students that they must work this out on paper and show their teacher before they get another try. So my students use this. They had a rubric that we used to create their game. They used they chose, here's their game rubric, and they chose a skill that was difficult for them. A lot of the kids had certain multiplication problems they just could not remember, and through using this we saw that they were able to master that. And that's what they used. They included other skills, but that was one. And beginning of the year, fact fluency was 23%, and that was based on my other program that I used. At the end of the year, fact fluency through collecting the data through this was 68%. And students state that making the game helped them learn, and students kept a learning log. That's where they kept their facts that they were having trouble with, and they collected their data in their learning log as they were working with the program.